just last year, I
Wow.
lost roughly $600,000 in a single day.
If this scheme would not have worked, there would be no Reliance today. And there you wrote that you wanted to become a billionaire by the age of 50. That belief comes before ability. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Billionaire Best Friend. This is monthly Maxim discussion, episode 1. And I would like to thank our guest, Bhuvan Gupta ji, for joining us. I would like to give a brief introduction about him. Mr. Bhuvan Gupta is the founder of Client First Group, which is managing nearly $100 million today, and it has been only a decade long journey now. Before that, he worked at Rak Bank for around 10 years and used to manage around 5 billion dirhams. His CAGR for the past 10 years, which is around since inception, is around 19%. And I would like to thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Arpit. Just to correct you, the journey has been roughly 11 years and been managing money for last 6 years. And that is, I think, CAGR is roughly 19-20%. So everybody has a journey. So I've been a fund manager officially for roughly 6 years. And the career in the entrepreneur side is roughly 11 years. So just to make sure that audience get the right information.
As you know that today we're going to have a conversation on the three maxims that I made video on our channel Billionaire Best Friend podcast. What is a maxim? A maxim, we cannot really remember an entire book as a whole. So what we do is just distill it down to a single sentence. And this is something that David Senra from Founders Podcast has been doing for the last 9 years. And these maxims are formalized by him. I'm just a student of him. And the first maxim that we'll discuss is that belief comes before ability. The origin is from David Senra from Founders Podcast. The single best story, according to me, for this maxim is that of tech millionaire Elon Musk. So, a lot of people know that Elon Musk is the richest man in the world today, worth nearly $750 billion. But what most people don't know is that he got wildly rich times 10 when he was hardly 27 years old. 27, 28 years old, he sold his first company Zip2 and netted nearly $20 million. Then he rolled all of that money back into starting his second company, which was later sold as PayPal, and he netted almost $200 million from that. Now, anyone would have just sat at the beach and enjoyed his life, but this guy, he rolled all of that money into two of the hardest industries ever, rockets and electric cars, and everyone was calling him nuts, including his own friends. Then, for the 6 years from 2002 to 2008, I would recommend you read this book, Lift Off. 90% of the book is Elon Musk, the now richest man in the world, failing and failing and failing. His own money was on the line and he was near bankruptcy in 2008 across both of his companies. But he believed that he could start a rocket company before he had any ability to do so. He's not a rocket engineer, he's not an automobile engineer, but today his company Tesla is bigger than the entire automobile market combined. And SpaceX is this, it's almost singular company dominating space industry.
True.
Then there's similar stories from across industries. Rapper Jay-Z, he started a fan club before he had any fans. Steven Spielberg, as I told you before, whose movie has grossed $11 billion, which is most in the world. He was practicing acceptance speech in his academy at 12 years old. What do you have to say about this maxim? Do you have any similar story from your own journey?
Sure, Arpit. I'm very happy the way you have researched and you have made ideal. I think Elon Musk is ideal for many people. At least we can emulate something, if not everything, because he has a different perspective of life. He's from the different background in the world. Like he's born in America and he has a lot of freedom at his end. Having said that, there are others like Buffett, which I personally is my ideal. Jeff Bezos, who is my ideal. Coming to Maxim, the maxim we can first of all understand in the chemistry like a formula, and in the spirituality we can understand from like a mantra. Now, if you have got the mantra, the formula of success, like Jeff Bezos said, success is 99% execution. What exactly you're doing right now in this podcast by starting the first episode. So Firmly believe in it. And I can tell you one thing that, like the way you talked about Steven Spielberg, acceptance speech, practicing before even he has been there, there is something called manifestation. Now, belief is what? Belief is a small version of manifestation. And if you go to any coach, he will talk to you about manifestation. Let's understand, Arpit, we are not alone in this planet. When I want to achieve something, Ritesh Agrawal, when he was talking to Nikhil Kamath in his podcast about the Thiel Fellowship, and he said that out of the 200 thing, anything could have gone wrong, and I would have not been there in America to attend this Thiel Fellowship course. And today we might not have the OYO room. So what I'm trying to tell you is that manifestation help us, that all the people around us, the environment around us will help us to make that happen. I remember, Arpit, when I flunked my MBA interview, I told in an interview when I was getting selected for my MBA that I want to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
They rejected me, Arpit. And I could not understand that what is wrong in it. And then they told me that what's wrong in it. But the same man who wanted to be an entrepreneur, then in 2007, finally did not get satisfied in his job. And then he started his journey. I started my journey in 2015. And I'm still no one, to let me tell you very frankly. And I have to achieve a lot of feat. There's too much today to read, too much to achieve. All I can say is that, yes, I completely agree with the maxim. There is no doubt about it. And I think people think that intelligence is bigger than imagination. In fact, one more thing I would like to add, that imagination is far bigger than intelligence. I can understand it today. And this year, our goal is again something which is unachievable. As you know, that we are making the company IPO ready.
Yes.
Now, in my surrounding, I am alone. All having said that, that the thrill of manifestation drives all of us. So I'm totally with you. I think it's something a very good message for all the audience.
I think that you yourself are one of the best examples of this maxim, because we've been talking since the past 3 to 4 years, and the first time I talked with you, you shared your something called a dream board, or maybe a small vision board that you had at the back of your door, and there you wrote that you wanted to become a billionaire by the age of 50. And another great thing that you wrote was that you wanted to make your employees millionaires by that age as well. So I think that is the perfect example of belief comes before ability.
Absolutely, Arpit. So, I think I'm very happy to remember it. So, I think I remember you asked me that, are you a billionaire? And I answered to you that, yes, I am a billionaire.
Yes.
The belief has to come first. People say that I will behave like a Mahatma once I'll become a Mahatma. I will behave like a billionaire when I'll become a billionaire. But when I ask this question, I think I asked you as well, when you will be a good person, when you want to become a good person, or when you will become a good person. So we all have to understand that acquire the qualities first and the wealth will follow. Now, from the concept of Bhagavad Gita, the principle of Bhagavad Gita, virtues are our wealth.
Okay.
Let's accept, Arpit, gold is going up, silver is going up. Let's say, Arpit, you have $1 million worth of gold today. When we will leave this world, we will not take it with us. By the way, Siddharth Bhaiya,
Yeah,
a
I know.
very prominent fund manager, sadly died yesterday in New Zealand at the age of 47. It's a shock for the industry. He was known for an amazing track record. But what will be alive with him today is that what virtues he has left for all of us to see and emulate. So it's very clear, Arpit. Manifestation is important. It is God's world. We all have to do our part. Now, why do you want to become billionaire? That purpose has to be there because money after a point will not motivate. So it is not that money which motivates. It is that problem which you are solving in the world that should motivate you. So that is my side of the story.
I love this, what you just said, that money won't motivate you, but the problem that you are solving will motivate you, because the second maxim actually originates from this exact very thing. The second maxim is money comes naturally as a result of service. And this is something that the then richest man, Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, said. And I mean, he had this one idea in his entire life. It was to make cars affordable and widely available, to make it not as a luxury product which only few could afford, but as something that even his employees could afford. He served not only his customers but also his employees. He formalized the 40-hour work week which exists till date, and doubled wages to $5 a day. I mean, this idea has been echoed by almost every single great businessman ever. So, co-founder of Spotify, Martin Lorenzen, who's 13 years elder to the second co-founder and also like his mentor, he basically told him the value of a company is the sum of all problems solved.
Obviously.
In the video that I made for this maxim, there was this one line that I actually love. Success is not the absence of problems, it is solving bigger and better problems.
Absolutely. In fact, I would like to add here that the value of a company is not only the problem you have solved, the all problems solved, but the problem you're working on. Because every company's value is the future cash flow. The future cash flow depends on the problem you're solving. Like when we're talking right now, one revolution has happened in the world, that FSD 14.22 has gone live, and there are these cars in the world which are being driven without the intervention of the manual or the driver. So we are absolutely in the new era right now, and all
Okay.
I'm trying to say is that all entrepreneurs should understand that. So by the way, the one very important thing I would like to tell you, at your generation it happens. What do you want to become? I want to become an entrepreneur. Now that's a wrong statement.
Yeah.
What you want to do in life is to solve a problem. Pick any problem. It could be a small problem, big problem. Whatever the problem you can solve in your capacity, solve it. You will become entrepreneur. By the way, there's one definition I got, that entrepreneur and the difference of the businessman is only one
Okay.
thing. Entrepreneur is solving a problem. Now you talked about Henry Ford. Let's come to Ratan Tata. He
Okay.
launched Nano.
Okay.
Nano was the need of the hour those days.
Yes.
Today, an average Indian has become rich. So Maruti 800 and Nano are out.
Yeah.
But he solved that problem. Today, India's problem is luxury cars. India needs
Okay.
luxury cars, and that's happening. So you're absolutely right. Just add on to it that problems will never end. The day problems end, the world will end. Let me give you one more thing. What is a problem for you? Probably not a problem for me. So, from the spirituality, a problem is nothing but challenge.
Okay.
Your attitude decides whether it's a problem or challenge, because problem is a negative word. But if you understand that problem is solvable, then it becomes challenge. Now look at today, you and I are talking on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Same city, when you have to meet somebody, we are talking on Zoom. It is saving a lot of time to all of us. It's a $28 billion business, and which
Okay.
might go to $100 billion business. And you have multiple platforms available to talk. So much of information available on YouTube today. Earlier, to get this information or knowledge, you have to go to colleges and pay the fees.
Exactly.
Today, YouTube has changed the world. And then YouTube being sold to Google for, I don't know what sum it is. So all I'm saying is that yes, the statement is correct. But Arpita, I would like you to also think on this maxim. How this maxim applies to you. That's more important.
Um, I guess the product right now which I'm building is this very podcast, and the value that the problem that I'm solving is actually, once I was having a conversation with Rio and I asked, how did this how did you develop the habit of reading? And you said that you were seeing all these rich and successful people reading all the time. And so the problem that this podcast is solving is exactly that. I am distilling down the information, the best ideas that I'm learning from the reading, all the reading that I'm doing, and this is my product.
So all the best for that. First of all, Arpit, you're very well read. Let me congratulate you for that. The books which I am reading now, you have read, or you're reading now, probably, and you are roughly what 10 to 15 years younger to me. And then one more thing, I have seen that you have read books which I have not even read. So I'm happy that you are actually an encyclopedia in your own self. What you need to, like you said, this product which you are now bringing in the market, you need to put all your brain power or the books you have read in the execution in this podcast. And what you will find is when you will be on the second, third, or fourth, or fifth podcast, you will suddenly feel a void. And then the podcast require more information, more knowledge, and then the particular book will attract you. And you
Okay.
will find that theory, practical theory, they'll go hand in hand. Look at Elon Musk. He learned about the whole rockets thing from the book. That's what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just telling you why I'm reading books now, why I'm addicted to the book right now. Arpit, to be very frank with you, everybody wants to attract to the wrong thing. The mind is a monkey. Mind wants to get indulged in the world. Mind wants to watch Netflix movies from the morning to the evening. Mind wants to behave like an animal, but it will only cause destruction. So, knowing the end result, you need to think what is right for you.
Yes.
Even the successful people are lazy. They don't want to get up in the morning, but they know that this is the only right thing to do, to get up in the morning and either do the exercise or run or pick up the book and read. The reading habit I developed, so it has not been taught in the Indian curriculum. You all read about the Indian books. But what happened is, how many degrees will take, Arpit? Every degree is costing you $100,000 today. Up to
Yes.
what time you will keep studying? You have to study, but why do you need a degree? Not to flaunt on the LinkedIn that I've completed this course from Harvard or something. And that is why I think one course which everybody should take, and that's the reading of Bhagavad Gita, the self study. Why I'm
Okay.
saying so, Arpit? Because you might be getting what or all the books you're reading, you probably can read while you are talking to other person or on the phone, etc. But when you will read Bhagavad Gita, you can't read it so easily. It's a deep knowledge. And you're a doctor, anyways. I think you've read a lot of books. But once you start understanding and interpreting Bhagavad Gita and able to speak about it, you will find that your ability of reading has gone up 10 times.
Okay.
So now, because of the Bhagavad Gita, my reading habit has gone tenfold because that knowledge is a subjective knowledge. It's knowledge about yourself. And I'm right now reading a book by Mr. Alluri, who's a serial entrepreneur. His the book name is Enlightened Manager. And enlightenment doesn't mean that spiritual enlightenment, a
Yeah.
factual manager, because the Oxford Dictionary definition of enlightenment also means you're aware of the fact. And this book is all nothing but spiritual knowledge which a manager should have in his life. So self knowledge is more important. Once you get the self knowledge, you'll start uh, going to the book for the higher curious knowledge. I've taken much time. Yeah, please do to you. Yeah,
I would like to like add two things over here.
sure.
Like the way you said that if we see from the lens of spirituality, a problem is just a challenge. This reminds me exactly of what Henry Kaiser said.
Hmm.
So Henry Kaiser was like the Elon Musk of his day. He started over 100 companies and built a Hoover Dam, which was the tallest dam of his day.
Hmm.
And he said that problems are only opportunities in work clothes,
Hmm. Hmm. Correct.
right?
So, yeah, Arpit, just to add here, you are an Elon Musk on your own. It is just that you're not discovered. I am a Buffett on my own, but I have not yet reached the feet. How is this particular maxim which will help you? We all are same. It is just that we have not explored our inner core to reach there. So Elon Musk has explored himself. What does Jeff Bezos does? Jeff Bezos only has started by selling books online.
Yeah,
It is old business using technology. And look at Jack Ma. He just copied him.
yeah, he did.
And his secretary is worth multi-million dollars.
I
Correct?
agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
most people today, while starting a business, their target is to reach out a number like, oh, I'm going to build $100 million business, or I want to build a unicorn company. But they totally forgot that the people who actually built such companies were not even thinking about such things. I mean,
Absolutely.
Steve Jobs, the first sale of Apple, a $4 trillion company today, the first Apple sale was made barefoot. It wasn't even a proper computer. There's no way that Steve Jobs was thinking, oh, I'm going to build a $4 trillion business.
Yeah, right.
And I mean, that's definitely the wrong way of thinking. But in the video that I made on this Maxim, I gave the example of Jeff Bezos. Like, yeah, he was definitely not thinking about solving a particular problem. His entire thesis basically came out of a research report. Oh, internet usage is growing at 2400% per year. He thought to himself, things usually don't grow that fast, so I must start something of my own.
Yes.
And
So,
so he started something of his own, but he instantly realized that if he's not going to provide value to the customer, he's not going to make anything for himself. And very recently, in like 2018 or 19, in one interview, he said that back then Amazon was worth $1 trillion. It's more than double today. He said that I own roughly 16% of Amazon. So if I've made 160 billion dollars, it means what we have done is over the last 20 years, we've created more than $840 billion of wealth for other people.
yeah. So very, very well said. Now let me put it in very, very different manner. It's actually a very good topic to discuss. So Arpit, why do people become billionaire? They become billionaire because they understand that to reach there, I need a lot of people. Because when a lot of virtues together come, now why do I buy from Amazon? Because I find it value. Correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Why do I have Kindle? The Kindle is a small innovation, but amazingly powerful innovation.
it is. It is.
I am not even discussing AWS, etc. Now, when I want to buy a good, I can read 5, 10 pages of a book and then I can buy it. If I buy, let's say, a perfume, if I find it not appropriate for me, I can return it. Now, when Jeff Bezos thought about others, he became rich.
Yeah,
And you can have this context not in the context of businessman. You can have it in the context of the great teachers, the great gurus. They all have thought about people. And very good example of Geo.
okay,
Now I remember when I had the first Ericsson phone, the call charges those days were 8 rupees per minute. That
okay.
big phone with that what do you call antenna on that, and
Yeah,
Geo made that a very very affordable phone today. I think everyone in India has this 4G phone on. Like you should not ask, even a poor fellow will have a phone
yeah, they
with an
do. They
internet. So look at why Reliance has become Reliance, why Mukesh Ambani has become what he's become. Because everybody's virtues and values coming together, giving blessings to Ambani, giving blessing to Jeff Bezos, and now from the FSD point of view, or Optimus, which is coming, giving blessing to Elon Musk. And I think if you have watched Guru movie, lot of people have married their children because they were a stockholder of Reliance.
Yeah, exactly. He
And
started the equity cult in India.
yes. And he was having this Buffett kind of conferences, which I think you have seen Guru movie today also. I think I do not know other company in India who does this kind of conferences. And I will request you to attend one of their shareholder conferences. It will change your life
I
forever.
actually did back in 2020 online.
Online, okay.
Since 2018, I guess ever since 2019 or 20, I've been a Reliance shareholder.
Amazing. How was the experience when you attended this online?
I was mostly focused on their business expansion part,
Hmm.
not really on the service part.
Okay.
Uh, Back then, I was a pure capitalist, did not had this thing that, oh, money is actually a product of service.
Absolutely. So I'll add something here, Arpit. You will love it. Now, who's the goddess of wealth?
Mata Lakshmi ji.
Lakshmi. And in the Indian culture, this is how it has been. Now, who is the treasurer of the wealth? or the money?
कुबेर जी.
Kuber. Now, Kuber is also called in Hindi Kubad. If you have
Okay.
ever seen Kuber walking, he walks like this. He's having a droop shoulders.
Yeah, yeah.
What does that signify? That if you are hoarding the wealth or the money, you will be under a lot of stress. Now, the goddess of wealth goes to whom?
विष्णु जी.
Who is Vishnu ji? Now, people will say we are discussing this all hypothetical thing here, but who is Vishnu? Tell me in your understanding.
Vishnu in the form of Balaji is everything to me.
Okay, so that is what your belief is. But if I tell you Vishnu or Lord Vishnu or Lord Ram are the same and they are nothing but the knowledge which is not changing.
Okay.
Now, when I say this, that they are the ultimate knowledge, and see, I do not know whether Ram came or not. I do not know whether Hanuman have happened or not. But when I take them inside me and understand that way, I find that they are the all omnipresent knowledge. Their omniscience, omnipresent knowledge. Now, where the wealth goes to Lord Vishnu and sit down, sit near the legs.
Yeah.
Now, if you have portrayed Lord Vishnu, you'll find that he also has this snake called Sheshnag.
Yes.
And what does he do? What is he doing?
He protects Lord Vishnu.
Oh, so you saying that Lord Vishnu needs protection.
No, no, I'm not saying that, but Lakshmanji was the form of Sheshnag and he serves Lord Vishnu.
Okay. So people interpret this way. They say that a poisonous snake with so many heads is on the head of Lord Vishnu. The goddess of wealth is actually on the leg side sitting. And the Lord is awake. He has got the weapons, or what does he do? The way it
What?
is portrayed, the Lord Vishnu is doing what? He's sleeping, right?
Yeah, he is sleeping.
And where is he sleeping actually? He's sleeping on the bed of that snake.
Yes.
And where is he sitting? He's sitting in the middle of the ocean.
Ocean.
Now, that is the knowledge. For a moment, understand, people are thinking, one day Lord Vishnu will come in my life like this, then I will believe that Vishnu exists. This belief system has to go inside. My belief and your belief could be different, Arpit. All I'm trying to say is that which kind of wealth we want. We want wealth to come and serve us, or we want a wealth where we are not having sleep. Because, Arpit, from my point of view, in this life, the sleep is the most important wealth. What is your opinion?
I completely agree with it. What is the use of $1 billion if you cannot have good sleep?
Correct. So
I
that
mean,
knowledge, yeah. So that knowledge is what lot. So acquire more knowledge,
yeah.
acquire practical knowledge, which is called wisdom. So in one word, Lord Vishnu is wisdom. That's what you are trying to explore through the podcast, I believe. Over to you.
Now, the last example that you told was that of Mukesh Ambani, and you went back to Dhirubhai Ambani, that a lot of people were actually able to get their children married because of the wealth that Reliance Stock made them,
Hmm.
right? And that is exactly where I'll begin the third maxim, which is excellence is the capacity to take pain. And back in 1982, Dhirubhai took a lot of pain from the short sellers of Manu Manek. I mean, those guys were terrible short sellers, and they were known to basically lend out money to promoters because back in the days, promoters, although they owned wealth, they did not had liquidity, and so they would come to these people for cash, and they would lend them, and then they would use their double-edged evil strategy, which was one to charge interest on the money lended to the promoter, and then because they had the insider knowledge that, oh, this guy does not has a lot of liquidity, I'm gonna short this very stock and then make money short selling. So Dhirubhai Ambani was like someone who would not bow down to this guy named Manu Manek. He constructed the equity cult. He was known to sell Reliance shares even by printing advertisement on oil. You know that oil का तेल का पीपा होता है.
Hmm.
on that oil cans. They
Hmm.
would print and even sell it on Kirana stores.
Hmm.
So I basically did 50 plus hours of research on Dhirubhai Ambani and made an
Wow.
episode back in April. And this
Very,
is why I know this.
very nice.
Dhirubhai won't bow down. He made an equity cult, and so these short sellers came behind him. In 1982, his company's profit was around 29 crores. He
Hmm.
had to put 22 crores only to save the stock from falling down. What ended up happening is there was this system called Badla and Undha Badla. So the short sellers sold the stock.
Hmm.
So they had to either pay penalty to carry forward the trade
Hmm.
because they don't own that shares,
Hmm.
or either do physical delivery of the shares.
Hmm.
Now, out of the 1.1 million shares which they short sold, Dhiru Bhai indirectly using something what they called as Friends of Reliance bought 8,70,000 of those shares. So
Wow.
almost 85% of the shares were bought by him only. And then all of those people asked physical delivery
Okay.
and not a penalty. And they obviously could not do physical delivery. So for a stock which was valued at around 121 rupees, they sought a penalty of around 25 rupees.
Oh my God.
And so, although he put 22 crores out of the 29 crore total profit, he ended up making money.
Great.
But if this scheme would not have worked, there would be no Reliance today. He could
Absolutely.
have gone absolutely bankrupt. He took this pain, and the origin of this maxim is from Isidore Sharp, the founder of Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts. So he was basically a very, very small builder who noticed while constructing a hotel that, oh, the hotel actually makes a lot more money than the construction. So I'm
True.
going to start a hotel. He starts a hotel, and then he's not the hotel's revenue is not even able to cover his costs. And
Correct.
so at night at 2 a.m. He's sitting on his bed, and his wife is seeing him staring at the ceiling. But he did not give up, right? Because he knew that excellence has the capacity to take pain. And today his brand Four Seasons is known for excellence in hospitality. What's your take on this maxim?
So, Arpit, I will say thank you for the good maxim, first of all. I think I'll add it here again. See, when you are going through the pain, you don't understand this maxim. Only once you have overcome the pain, and let's say labor pain, and they say that a labor pain is equivalent to having thousands of this Scorpio biting you, and then the baby comes out. Obviously, mother is that's why has been regarded as one of the what do you call God because she gives birth,
Yeah,
right? So when I will tell you my personal story here, it's very difficult for people to say, but I think it's very important to say because it is not that only I have gone through it. Like you have mentioned about Ambani's. Once upon a time in 2008, there was a situation that Buffett would have gone bankrupt. Charlie Munger had leverage in his strategy. Even Ben Graham was the father of value investing. He had leverage and he learned that lesson hard. And in fact, there used to be a person who was very famous at the time of Buffett. He was equally famous, but his strategy had leverage.
yeah,
And then he absolutely got wiped off. There's also a story of a Livermore in the I think the 1929 crisis. When I go to Buffett's conference, there are a lot of young people come, but I try to be with people who are old enough,
yeah,
and they always say, "I don't want to become Livermore. I want to become Livermore because he committed suicide on the next day of the crisis." So I'll tell you about my personal story. Roughly 15 years ago, I lost $100,000, and that used to be a big sum for me. And I was not the excellent person that time, and I was not ready to go through the pain, and I was ready to forfeit that money. My father came as a guru to me that time, and he told me that if you will not ask for your money, tomorrow somebody will take your wife, and that had really touched me because in the school and colleges they don't teach you how to deal with the world,
yeah.
and
They
we were
teach you
best
how to cope
friends.
with
Yeah,
exams.
yeah, and we were the best friends. The best friend has taken my money, and it is like it has happening all in front of me. I am blindly trusting him, and this has happened. It took me 2.5 years. It took a lot of self effort to get that money back. From then, Arpit, just last year, I
Yeah.
lost roughly $600,000 in a single day
Okay.
in the April tariff of Trump. And I learned a big lesson of my life that options are actually weapons of mass destruction.
Absolutely.
Now, Arpit, I have learned that lesson with help of my father 15 years ago. But
Yeah.
this time, I understood that I need to forget this. I need to ask for forgiveness to the clients. And then I went to each one of them. If and there were very few people, but I went to each one of them. I asked for forgiveness. I'm going to write it in my annual letters because I've learned from Buffett that be open about what you have done, and I believe in truth. So today, excellence is the capacity of to take the pain, but first is the acceptance, Arpit, which you mentioned about Steven Spielberg, who was. So I'm just adding it that acceptance comes first. That I am at fault. Yes, it is very painful, but without pain there is no pleasure.
That is correct.
Okay, and I think we all should understand one thing with the podcast. There are so many podcasts in the in the YouTube. Don't try to show off what you are not. It is very important to tell the world what you are. And there is a, I think I would like to finish it from my side by saying that all is well, all is well, and that is what Amir Khan told in Three Idiot. It is what we have to all go through. And I want to take bigger problems now. I want to have the courage to handle bigger challenges. Obviously, I do not want to be foolish. So, some of the stupidities teach you the lessons which, even if you are a great fund manager, you don't learn. So, I think this maxim is also an amazing what I think this Four Seasons Hotels owner has talked about. And I think we all go through this issues. We believe in capex and not opex. Now, in some contexts, operating expenditure, like in the case of Marriott, all the hotels outside of America, they don't own it.
Yeah.
They are a hotel company. They're not a money. They're not a land owner or something. And I think we need to understand that the biggest car company today doesn't own a single car. The biggest grocery in the world does not own a physical store. And I think this maxim is all about we all should strive for excellence. Take the pain, bear the pain, accept as you are. First, accept who you are. And don't keep things to you. Share it with the right people because they all have gone through this pain. Just to add here, when 15 years ago I've gone through this pain of my friend cheating me, I went to many people and I told about it. And they're all successful people and they all had bigger problem than me. So one fellow I remember I went to and he had his house got burgled
Okay.
in a place like Dubai. It has happened, and he was in Goa. He came all the way from Goa, and I went to his house, and he said, "Okay, whatever is taken is taken. Why did he mess up the house?" So all I'm trying to say is that excellence will not come without pain. There is no doubt about it. No medicine will work, except all is well. All is well. That's what we all have to say to ourselves.
I mean, I really like that idea that you mentioned of Warren Buffett and that you're going to admit it to your investors, the mistake that you made. Buffett always used to say, I don't remember the quote verbatim, but it went something like that. If you're looking for great people, look for great energy, intelligence, and integrity.
Yes.
And if they lack integrity, then don't even look for the other two. So I 100% agree that integrity is one of the essential thing to have. If you don't have integrity, then your energy and intelligence won't make any difference in the world because being selfless is the best thing for being selfish.
Yeah. So Arpit, I again come back to the same spiritual concept. So Arpit, tell me one thing. If I lie or you lie, why don't we get to sleep in the night? Who is watching it? Nobody knows that apart from you that you lied. And that's what the concept of Ram is. And the Ram has come from Ramante iti Rama. What that mean is one who is ruling you from inside.
Okay.
Your inner consciousness, awareness, like just talk about self. So then the spirituality is the concept of capital SELF is self, which is the Atman, and then we are the small self, the Jivatma. So Arpit, exactly right. The reason why I need to speak the truth doesn't mean you have to be foolish every time and do the same mistake. Don't do the blunders. You will be out. But when you do not accept what you have committed, how will you grow? So when I tell the truth, I don't have to remember what I told Arpit and what I told somebody else because I am speaking the truth. And the truth is straight. But you have to cook the lies. And I do not want to cook the lies because once you cook the lies, you're in the web of the lies and you will not move forward. One of the days, this what do you call spider will come and eat you. So
Yeah,
truth,
yes, that is.
yeah, truth
That
alone
is.
prevails. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, that is exactly correct. Just yesterday, I was talking to a cousin of mine, and I said that this is my personal opinion. This might not even go on the podcast, but I think that you could become bigger than Warren Buffett. It's just that the returns have to continue. The thing is, what I've personally learned from Warren Buffett is that he was not the best investor of all time. He was one of the best human beings of all time. Him and his partner Charlie Munger combined, and this integrity they actually this integrity kept him made him what he is today. One of his largest shareholdings was a bank, and they committed a big fraud, and he had to go in front of the government and basically say that lose
बाद
money
में.
for the firm and I will be understanding, lose a shred of reputation and I will be ruthless. So he was ruthless, but he had really high integrity. And I really love that part where you tell your investors that returns are not guaranteed, the process is guaranteed. And if the process is guaranteed, returns are going to come. And this was the first month. I really liked it. And there are 4 weeks, so there were only 4 episodes. This is the fourth episode. There were three maxims, and now we're going to talk a little bit about Warren Buffett. I mean, Benjamin Graham definitely taught him, but then Charlie Munger transformed him completely. And if there was one singular mentor that I would like to have as a person, as a grandfather, even, it is Charlie Munger. I love him. He does not have 200 billion or 700 billion, but I mean, he had the highest integrity, he had the highest wisdom, as you told Vishnu ji's wisdom, right? And Charlie Munger used to say that wisdom is prevention.
Yes.
One of the best lesson that I have here from Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger is to have an inner scorecard. Know who you are and never try to be anything else. What do you have to say about this?
So thank you. I was waiting to speak. When you said that I can become bigger than Buffett, I don't think like that. I can't become Buffett. Leave even talking about becoming bigger than Buffett. It is never about becoming bigger or smaller. It is about becoming better.
I only meant that financially, not otherwise.
Even financially, it is all about becoming better. Now, who knows? You will make 35% next year or 40 or 10. Market is the king. Like they say, karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. The results and the fruits of actions both are not guaranteed. All you can do is your karma. With the history, it says that value investing 2.0. What? So you talked about Charlie Munger. There is also this man called uh, I'm forgetting his name who wrote about Scuttlebutt. These two people are responsible for him to become a growth investor, a value investor
Is
to
that
what?
Philip Fisher?
Philip Fisher. Thank you. So Philip Fisher is the another father of Warren Buffett. See, we all have many mentors. That's what
Yeah,
again Buffett says, have role models. So there are a lot of people who have influenced him, a lot of people who are influencing me. And at the end of the day, you have to be what you are. You cannot become somebody else. In fact, people are dying because they want to become somebody else.
exactly.
So my parents are different. I am born in India. I am raised in Dubai. My clients, my environments are different. My wife is my partner. Buffett has the other way around. Munger was his partner. All is destined. All is in my hand is to do my karma. So I know what my shortcomings are. We all are trying. I think with the podcast you are trying to become better version of you. With this podcast I am trying to learn from you, because what I have learned is to have a learning mindset. And today I'm going to take away a lot from this podcast. I've not come here for the audience, I've not come here for anybody else. I've come here for myself. That I might read a book right now in the morning, or I might be in the podcast to learn. And while I'm talking to you, I'm also introspecting that the maxim which you have given me. So I completely accept and agree that we all are in our own self unique, and we need to focus on our uniqueness. And we will be surprised by the life, what it gives you or throws at you every day. I was not even aware that I will be doing podcasts one day. I was not aware that I will be going for an IPO one day. Yes, I knew that IPO is a good thing, but how easy it will be in my mind, because it has to come in my mind first. Everything in
Yeah,
life we do twice. You thought about the podcast and now you're doing it
exactly.
twice. So the IPO has to be solved here. The value investing has to be sorted here. When that happens, everything else is a cakewalk. Yeah.
Now, the second idea that I would like to talk, which also came from Warren Buffett, is if you're not working on your best idea, you're doing it wrong. So, are you working on your best idea right now? What is your best idea right now?
Okay. So my best idea is to reduce the fee of my investors.
Reduce
The,
the what?
the fees.
Fees. Okay.
Yeah. Now, how do I reduce the fee is by making them the shareholder.
Yes.
And still the maximum money will be invested in this stock market, right? And I will get my profits either through bonuses and plus the share appreciation.
Okay.
That's my best idea, because at the end of the day, between you and me as a customer and me as a vendor, you like the product, you always like me not to charge you or charge you less. Now I need to charge you, but it doesn't mean I have to charge you directly. It can be an indirect charge, which
Yeah.
can be the shareholder appreciation or the price of appreciation or the bonus. At the end of the day, if you have low margin business, you'll have high growth. So my
Okay.
best idea is to now fulfill my promises to my employees and my customers by giving them a opportunity to be part of client first holding and client first capital. And it's an exciting journey for me because I have not done anything of this. So
Yeah.
within a boring business, I am making it exciting for myself without taking a higher risk like debt or putting money into something which I do not know. So this is my idea, because I think we should add it with this that every moment should be lived as your last moment of life. So this is very important, that I should and you should not do anything which you will not do if tomorrow is your last day. So I'm absolutely with it. And I think a book by Dan Sullivan, 10x is easier than 2x, is all about mindset. And this mindset is amazing that 10x, you have only one or two ways to get.
Okay.
2x, you have multiple way to get it. So that's become very complex, and probably you'll achieve it, but you will be also tired. But in the 10x, you have only one or two ways. I'll give you a very simple example. In our time, there was no coaching, Arpit. Today, the everything we have a coach, sports coach. Now my children have a badminton coach. You probably have a gym coach. We all need a coach or a mentor in all walk of life. It is not that we cannot mentor ourselves, but since we are so much indulged in the work or in the process, we are unable to think differently. Now, a lot of our housewives are a great cook, but they are
Yeah.
not chef. Not many of will become Tarla Dalal or Mr. What do you call his name is Vikas Khanna and one other guy Sanjeev Kapoor. They will not become that because they will not look for a coach. So I think with this podcast, I want to tell every children who is coming out of this college or every businessman who is trying to be in business that please find a good coach for yourself. Pay his pay him for his time, pay him for his advice, because unless we pay, they say Guru Dakshina in the spiritual
Yeah.
concept. Unless you pay, you will not take it seriously. And I'm telling you that a lot of gurus are there, but nobody is ready to become a disciple or a mentee. But if you become a mentee, become serious, and there is a possibility that a mentor might be a cheat.
Yes, there is
The mentor might be cheat. But Arpit, then it comes to your first maxim. Belief comes before the.
ability.
So the mentor is not a person.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I might commit a crime. But whatever I'm discussing right now today here will not go waste.
The mentor is his teachings.
Absolutely. It is ultimately that ultimate sound which is coming through that mentor or that person.
So the favorite business lesson that I've borrowed from you is to think big, act small. It's exactly what David Sendra was talking a few days back on Molly Oshia's podcast, which is you are just basically laying the bricks. Don't think about what will happen 100 days or 1,000 days from today. Just lay the brick today. That's it. And I think if we talk about this from a spiritual lens, this is exactly what you told me in Raipur. The only thing you have in your control is your karma. That's it.
Right, Arpit. I think Atlas Shrugged, you have read about Fountainhead.
I haven't read, but I know about it.
Yeah. You have to become individually very clear before you can serve the society. Now, when you say that think big, act small, is all about execution. We all are laborers. We all are here to do our part. Narendra Modi, His Holiness or His Highness Prime Minister of India, he explained when he heard about Vishnuji or the Lord Vishnu has the thousands hands. So he said that when I imagine I have 1 billion worth of hands in all of you, he gave life a meaning. He said even NRI is serving the country,
They do, yeah.
right? And he told all of us to do our part by helping in the mission of cleanliness, by helping in the mission of being a patriot. The challenge here is that we all think that we're alone and everybody else is not mine. So act small means do your part. Like this podcast, I don't know how many people will watch and see, but as it'll go and on and on and on and on, Arpit, you will become such a great orator, great thinker that they will come. So there's a model called build and they will come. So I believe in that. I don't want to be in a queue to see some big person. I want to create a model of a business that they will come. And that's what I'm exactly doing. Just to give you one thing, I recently interviewed the CEO of Aura Minerals, Rodrigo Barbosa.
Yeah, I saw that
Yeah.
interview.
So we are not a professional podcaster, we're occasional podcaster because we are a full-time fund manager.
Yeah.
Now, many people tell us that you have less subscribers. Now, that's not my business.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yet we get the best people on our podcast and we'll
Yes.
continue to get it. Why? Because we act small. We write to them, we write to the answer to them. Because it is a chicken and egg. Do I get an experience first to get a job? Or do I get a job to get an experience? So it's all in the mind. It's all the excuse people are giving it to you and you're buying it. So, yes, think big like Jeff Bezos and act small. Just sell a book online. That's it. And even I'll say Jack Ma is even better. He just copied it. That is
Yeah.
even easier. Yeah.
I mean, the quality of the audience matters. David Sendra hardly has 170,000 subscribers, and Michael Dell listens to him.
Wow.
Michael Dell listening is like 10 million Americans listening.
Yes.
Does it even matter if the other people are listening? And
Correct.
there's this a podcast named Acquired.
Hmm.
What they basically do is there are two hosts. They individually do 100 plus hours of research. So
Hmm.
200 plus hours of research go into making one episode a month, and they make deep dives on just a single company. And
Correct.
so they made a deep dive on this toy company. I'm not remembering the name
Hmm.
of this certain toy company, and it did not outperform. The episode actually underperformed.
Hmm.
But what ended up happening is a few CXO level people from Facebook, now called Meta, they saw it, right? They absolutely loved it, and they wrote to the hosts. So they ended up becoming friends, and so what ended up happening is when they were hosting a conference with JP Morgan, right? They just asked those CXO people, hey, can you get Mark Zuckerberg to participate in the conference? They
Well,
actually asked Zuckerberg directly, and because of an episode that underperformed, but they got those few right people. Mark Zuckerberg came to their audience. Mark Zuckerberg came as a co-host.
so this incident happened just now with me. I wrote a LinkedIn article, a LinkedIn post some days ago, where I told people that how foolish I was when I left Persistent System, where they're a public company and they're roughly 35,000 crore plus company. And I mentioned about my boss, ex-boss Desh Bobe, and I also mentioned about the founder, Mr. Anand Deshpande, Dr. Anand Deshpande, such a brilliant visionary. And I mentioned that in the post, and you know what? He liked it.
Okay.
And now it's a connection, right? Now tomorrow, if I will write for the right reason, he will remember, and him. You never know. One day I will be doing business with him. So that's what I think internet has given. Yesterday also, I connected with the founder of ISB.
Oh,
Yeah, so he's an
Rajat Gupta?
amazing man. Hmm?
Rajat Gupta?
No, no. There's another guy called Prashant Raj, I think Prajapat something. So
Okay.
he is founded ISB Hyderabad and Ashoka University. And I'm personally very fond of Ashoka University. So I was watching this Nikhil Kamath podcast with Ritesh Agrawal, and they were discussing about Thiel Fellowship. And then they talk about Young India Fellowship,
Okay.
which I think I shared with you.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
so the Young India Fellowship is after the graduation, and they take 100 odd students. So this man has changed the face of the Indian education. Like you still can apply to ISB, Arpit. And the similar manner, Ashoka University is also you can apply to if you like to participate. And this man, I told that I would like to be connected with you because you are doing an amazing job in the field of education, and I personally respect the education, and he accepted it. You never know, I might be teaching in one of these colleges. So it is important to act small. It was a small act. Don't let your thoughts crowded or clouded by what people think. Like Ritesh Agarwal also mentioned that he has this habit of cold emailing people. He
Yeah.
used to email a lot of this business people those days, and he wanted to come and see their office. So first is the interest, Arpit. So and you can only act small. You can't act big because the year is divided in the months are divided in the weeks are divided in the days are divided into minutes and seconds, etc. So we need to act small. We can't act big, but we have to think big because the eyes has to be on the goal, right?
So it was really great having you here, and I'd like to, and I'm taking a lot of learnings with me today. And the thing about learning is, which David Senra gave this quote, and I absolutely love this. Learning is not memorizing information; it is changing your behavior. And whatever I've learned today, I'll try to implement it and change my behavior according to it. So it was great having you. Really, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Arpit. It was great talking to you. I enjoyed every part of it.
Same here.